pledge allegiance to
to
the
the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 10th meeting.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion to ratify the disbursements as stated on motion 5.
Item number 5 on the agenda. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
It's entertaining, isn't it?
I'll make a motion to approve item number 6 as stated on your agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Wait, for number 6,
Yes.
there's no cost?
Cost use
It
of the
says
county
and/or
vehicle.
and/or payment? There's no estimated payment or anything?
It says just the cost use of the county vehicle, whatever gas we put into
Okay.
it, for both of them.
Item number 7.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 7 is listed on your agenda.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve item number 8 is listed on your agenda.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 9.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 9 is listed on your agenda.
Second. All in favor? Aye. See what they are. There you go. Precision Glass. It says children and youth.
Pardon?
This one is for, it says children, estimates for children and youth from Precision Glass?
I don't know what all windows Alan took them to, and they're sealed bids, so I haven't seen them, I don't know.
Okay, it's $12,300. I wonder if they consider that whole building children, but it's not, it's county office building, and
Right.
those are the ones that need replacing. So it's hard to tell.
If it lists,
94 inches by 94 inches is one. The other one is 20 windows. 600, 12, 3. This is one tempered 94 by 94. That's got to be on the county office building.
I believe some of the windows were in the county office building and some were in the courthouse.
Okay, here's the courthouse one, furnish and install, 7. All right, here's what I can't, this is not clear. We have the children and youth one, Sylvia. And it says $12,300. Then we go to another children and youth one for $21.95. And then another one for the courthouse, furnish install 7 for $32.15. So without doing the math, I don't know if 12.3 totals, that's what we're gonna have to
okay.
total them up.
There's another one from Endicott.
This one is from Archeska Glass and Endicott. $47,848. Precision Glass is far cheaper than that, even if we take the 12.3 and add the other two, it's still less than that. Okay, we'll look these over. Make sure
Make sure they're,
yeah, which is
Doing the
what
same
one's
thing,
getting,
sure.
exactly, yes,
And they'll be awarded at the next meeting.
yes. Item number 10 on the agenda.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve item number 10 as listed on your agenda.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 11.
I'll make a motion to
Hold
approve.
it, we gotta
How
put on.
long were these taxes overdue?
They could be for a long time. Once they go into the county repository, we exonerate them so they can go back on the tax rolls and get sold. It's hard to tell, but once they end up at this stage, they've been there a long time. Item number 11.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 11 is listed on your agenda.
Second.
I'd like to know what that is. What do you advise when you have an advisory board, since you're on it?
The advisory board gets together various times during the year and talks about the communication problems throughout the counties, where the radio towers are, which ones work, which ones don't, what can be done to upgrade them.
So that's the main thing you talk about?
That's about the only thing they talk about.
Is there something
Yes.
you would like to talk about other than that?
Well, it's a communications board, and the idea is they all come in and tell us where we have problems and see what we can do to fix them. They've been putting repeaters up around the county in order so that the fire companies and different police agencies can talk to each other. And it is a big problem in the county because there are lots of dead spots that we are trying to get filled in.
Is there anything you can do about cell phones, since we have so many dead spots? Is that on your agenda?
They all have cell phones, and sometimes where you are, they work, sometimes they don't. So did I second that? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 12.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 12 is listed on your agenda.
Yes, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 13 on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 13 is listed on your agenda.
I'll second it. Go ahead, Bruce.
There's no implication in this question, should anyone take it that way, but in the past, there has been an attempt by many organizations to indoctrinate youth. If this is,
Indoctrinate us.
to indoctrinate youth in certain political persuasions or certain cultural ideas, et cetera, et cetera. I am not personally familiar with Big Brothers and Sisters, other than I think they do something good for kids. They provide mentorship.
Yes.
Is this a strict business lease? Question number one. And number two, if there is any indication that there's anything else going on to try to sway the thoughts of some of these youngsters, you can infer exactly what you want to infer towards a certain, shall we say,
Bruce, just say what's on your mind.
my concern is that a lot of these organizations, and I'm not implying that this one does,
Okay.
use children as front groups, use children, school children, to promote political agendas.
Don't disagree with you. I don't think they do it. I've never heard that. But I don't disagree with what you're saying because it is true.
Well, my question then becomes, since now we're on the same page, is there any way to check on them from time to time to make sure that what's going on in some of these activities is strictly activities?
Normally, Bruce, the way these things come to surface, if something amiss is going on, some parent, some mentor, somebody complains about it. It's like everything else. The parent is the last one to know what their kid's doing. You hear what your kid's doing from one of the neighbors, or one of the neighbors' kids said, hey, you know, little Joey is doing this. It's the same thing with these organizations, and it's across the board. Take Penn State. They didn't know it until people started complaining about it. I have never heard any complaints about big brothers and big sisters doing anything other than what's right and admirable with these kids.
So,
I don't know how we police them, other than it's a self-policing. If something's going on, somebody will say or complain about it. That's normally how we find out about a lot what's going on that shouldn't be.
but let's do another hypothetical. If someone complains, they have a lease, then what?
Well, it's got
Someone's-
nothing to do with the lease, but depending on the activity that they've engaged in that may not be appropriate, then if they came to the commissioners, we would contact the property or the proper authorities to investigate it. I think where you're going here is if you think something is amiss, we got a lease with them, we don't want them here.
Bingo. I'm
Yeah,
not
I-
referring to anything that's.
Yeah, I understand, that's,
I'm referring to mind control, not body control. If-
I know. I can't disagree with you, I understand what
And
you're
I'll give you the
saying.
perfect example, although it's on the government level. A parent can complain about Common Core, go take a walk. We don't have to show you anything.
But that's, there's a lot of that. We can only deal with what we have control over.
Right, I wanted to bring it up, I want it out there.
Your satisfactory answer?
Yes, yeah, what else can, I mean, I just
What
wanted it out
else
there.
can we see? Yes, I understand.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
What they might not be doing it now, but they might be doing it later, you know, that's another thing.
Yeah, well, we'd have to have a crystal ball to determine
What was
that.
that?
We'd have to have a crystal ball to guess what they're gonna do in the future, and we're going forward based on what they've done in the past, which has been very good things. So we would continue down that path until we learned otherwise, which I would not expect from this group. Okay?
And also, I'd like to say too, if you feel a suspect in their teachings, you can volunteer as a big brother or big sister.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
And you
that
can
do
see
it.
what's going on.
Yeah, that's true, Vera, that's true.
Michael, could I just add that we're increasing their space that they have, we're doubling their space due to increased children getting into the program, increased activities and increased mentors for these children, so
And where is their offices? I mean, I've never seen their offices.
county office building.
County office building?
Okay, let's move to item number 14.
We did vote.
Do we vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Glad we have you, Sylvia. We're on item number 14.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 14 as listed on your agenda.
Second,
Question,
go ahead.
does a verbal resignation have the same weight as a written resignation?
No, but if that's all we got, that's what we gotta move with.
So as of now, or as of this moment, that this individual is no longer working for the county? Okay, thank you.
And is there any reason why Peter left?
I have no clue.
Because he said he was, very well trained for something like this, and he leaves after what, about a month or two? So how come we have such a turnover?
Don't know.
It must be an awfully difficult job.
Well, it's not an easy job, that is for sure. Hours and hours of boredom inserted with minutes of pandemonium and chaos. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Item number 15.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 15 as listed on your agenda.
I'll second that. Comment, all in favor?
Aye.
Item number 16.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 16 as listed on your agenda.
I'll second it. Comment, all in favor? Aye. Public comment? No public
Well, I'd
comment?
like to say something. No public comment? I'd like to
Yeah,
know,
during the meeting, that was
I-
like going on in the meeting.
right, it's during the
Go
meeting.
ahead, Vera.
I'd like to know, have you heard, like, I just read an article, excuse me, from, about Chesapeake again being called for underpayment of royalties in Bradford County?
Yes.
Do you get complaints, what companies do you get complaints from here in Susquehanna County for underpayment?
None.
None? So there's nobody complaining about underpayment or excess
Well,
production
they're all,
costs?
everybody that's got a gas lease, one of the early leases that allows the gas company to take cost out, are complaining about some of the costs that are getting taken out.
I
Yes.
have a comment. I wanted to see if we can get some support from the county commissioners to push on the legislation in regards to the post-production, maybe also put in for a show cause for disclosure. I think it's very important that the gas companies have to reveal everything. Show all proof for volume of gas, proof at meter readings. It's a self-reporting system. We have no idea what actual gas is actually being extracted. In the Securities and Exchange Commission, they just made an amendment for the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act for investing in stocks, and I may have my wording incorrect, because I just started reading on it last night,
We get your point.
right? So
We know where you're going.
there's no way to actually have proof of what the gas companies, because in a lot of states it's self-reporting. So then this act does not help us then. But
What
I
act you
think
talking about?
for the, well, the Securities and Exchange Commission, as far as for the gas companies having to report to them. So if they're transporting gas over port, but if they're not reporting it accurately from states that they're taking it from, then that's a wash to me. And also too, with that, is that we have, a lot of the state representatives and some of the senators that are not aware that there's no severance tax fee. So a lot of them are not up to par on what exactly is going on with the gas companies. We need help with the legislation to get this moving. I think that they gave them the entire rope, like when you're trying to train a dog, you don't give them the whole rope and then try to pull back. If this doesn't get stopped at a certain point, it's going to be completely taken from everybody around here, like Chesapeake's doing in Bradford County. Cabot is doing it right now in this county. It may not be as extreme, but they're doing it. And I have sent some letters out, and I've made some phone calls, but every phone call I've made to Cabot Oil and Gas comes back with the same answer, is they cannot give you a formula. So without that big piece of information, you can never figure out whether you're getting ripped off or not.
Let me explain it to you this way. You know we passed a resolution, Bradford County did it, Susquehanna County did it, sent it down to our legislatures to get these post-production costs fixed.
Right.
Now, the state Supreme Court in 2010 ruled that it's up to the legislature to fix this. That was in 2010. All the legislators, whether that's a subsurface trespass or not, they take your gas and don't pay anything. You think any legislature has even tried to fix that when they know it's an issue and everybody's being impacted?
No.
The answer is no. Now, narrow Act 259. I'm sure they just passed it.
Right.
And that's the reason I'm addressing it the way I am is because it impacts directly on the questions you ask us. That just hurt us landowners more. Narrow has a lobbyist now. They got to hire a lobbyist. They want to know who's looking out for the landowner. Well, the answer to that question is the people we elect are supposed to be looking out for us. We should not need a lobbyist. Our elected officials are our lobbyists. They're supposed to be looking out for us. Is anybody,
No.
do you know of any lawmaker anywhere that's done anything to try and help the
No.
landowner fix this post-production?
No. That's why I was coming.
That's
to
right,
you.
the answer is no, because there isn't any.
I
Have I
had,
answered all your questions?
Well, I was just wondering if there's any further suggestions or maybe any further meetings that the public can have to maybe make this stand out a little bit further to push the legislation. I know that there's only so much you can do at your level, but I wanted to try to get some type of meeting for all the people that are involved. It's an extremely important issue, it
You're
really
right.
is. I mean, I asked them why the Federal Trade Commission was not involved, or the Attorney Generals, but when I mentioned the Federal Trade Commission, the conversation got very quiet. No, we haven't contacted them yet. Well, why not? Why, if this gas is getting transported across state line, then that involves the Federal Trade Commission. I know that their volume of work is pretty, if the caseloads are heavy, but they should be investigating this as well.
Yeah, but
So
they-
that-
Go ahead, I don't want to interrupt you.
Now, I'm just wondering, I mean, the corruption or whose pockets are being taken care of?
Well, it certainly isn't the landowners being taken
know,
care of, I
I
can
know.
tell you that.
Yep, I know.
All these laws, that, you know, Act 259, y'all passed a couple other ones early on, he got blasted for that. Look, none of these are getting passed in favor of the landowner. The only thing we can do is put pressure on the people that are writing these laws, because they're supposed to be our lobbyists.
Yes.
But it's not happening. Scoop.
Just as she mentioned meetings, in a conversation with Narrow PA reps this weekend, they did say that they are going to be holding a series of like town hall type meetings in especially in this area, in Bradford County and Susquehanna County, coming up in the next few months, and also a series of like coffee shop type meetings. So, and they are, from what I gather, they are very active on this subject right now.
They're not too happy, as I understand it.
They're not.
Why are they not happy? Because they think about the same thing as I just said. Who's looking out
Right.
for us? Is that right?
That is,
And I haven't even
that is
talked to
what,
anybody at Narrow, so I
that is
have
what
to
I
imagine
surmised
that
from
would,
my conversation.
that would be their position, because that'd have to be.
Right.
Had not,
Our representative told me on the telephone, when I told her about what was going on with our situation, with the capturing our property and not paying us for it.
rule of capture issue.
Well, and I tried to explain to her what the
Okay.
rule of capture was,
Who's
where
your
it,
representative?
Yeah, who did you speak
Gina
to?
Pickett.
and
Yeah.
her answer to me was,
Because Sandy Major knows very well what the rule of capture is.
well, yeah,
'cause we
with it,
worked to fix it.
but you explain it again because you need to clarify it and just make sure that they understand and they're on the same level as you are at that moment. And the answer that I got after I said, well, I had that now have to employ an attorney to seek out, because I need to get experts to look to see whether or not fracking is actually going on, et cetera. And her answer to me was, well, good luck in your pursuit.
And she's your representative. You elected her to office. I don't understand. Bruce, do you have a question?
We have two questions. One
Or
is.
a comment, or public comment, right?
One is I'd like to direct a question to.
Fine,
Tracy.
have at it.
Are these folks gonna publicize this?
I would assume.
Okay. Question number two is, it's changing direction. I would like the commissioners, or make a suggestion that the commissioners look more into this immigration bill that's coming up, because our legislatures, both of them, the Congress, the House and the Senate, are selling us down the river. And if this bill allows the kind of number of folks to come over that they're talking about, you are gonna have nobody working in Susquehanna County for low wages who lives here.
Right, yeah, we know that. Vera, go ahead.
Why do you think the legislators, even after you knew what you knew in 2008 with Sandy, why do you think the legislators, nobody's coming forward about this issue? Why aren't they not doing
You have
anything?
to ask them.
So you don't have
I've
any,
asked them, they don't have any answers.
they have no answers when you ask them why nobody's fighting about this?
Right. They think they're doing wonderful things down there.
In the
I'm gonna ask them, they'll tell you what a wonderful job they're doing. Call Lisa Baker, she'll tell you, doing a wonderful job. Gene Yaw, my God, what are you complaining about? Life is wonderful. Right? Yeah.
Because Gene Yaw doesn't seem upset about this, you know, the underpayment.
Geez, yeah, I'd explain it.
There's a job waiting for all of them.
You all got her, Bruce. All right,
Now,
public, go ahead.
My question is for the moratorium that's continuing in the Dimick area. There's a area that is just,
I
seems
thought they
to,
lifted it.
no, it hasn't been lifted and there's gonna be further testing. I don't have
Okay.
all my accurate information, but I was wondering if there's any information that you have received, because the DEP is just stating that it's gonna pretty much just keep floating more with testing. There's a lot of homes that really are in an area that aren't even close to it, that they're locking up the landowners' properties, and we wanted to see what we can do to get.
We don't hear anything from them. They don't have to, and they'll tell us, we don't have to tell you anything, because they don't want us interfering. You think they'd want to hear from me the speech I have to give them? I can tell you they do not. They don't like it. Vera, one more.
So as far as the moratorium in Dimick, it's a 9-square-mile moratorium that's still intact, still in force, that no drilling is allowed around the area where the first contamination of the water wells happened. And because the methane is still too high in a number of the water wells, and they have new cases since the Costello 1 gas pad on Route 3023, State Road 3023, has been leaking methane since February, and they have a repair rig on there since February, and new homes have been contaminated further with methane and other elements So they have water buffaloes, they have vent stacks for high methane. So if the methane is still above 7 milligrams per liter in any water source, DEP will not allow drilling in that area. So that's the main reason. And that's what's happening right now. So we have that issue going on there, and it's continuing to go on there. So now they're going to seal this well, Costello 1. They've been trying to repair it since February, and they can't fix it.
Other comment, motion to adjourn. You're gonna second it? Commissioners meeting.
Okay, I'll second that.
All in favor?
It's 9:26.
And we got a salary board, but there's only two of us.
She's going to see if Mary's here. This is her,
We need one more.
yeah,
Can be the treasurer, can be Mary Evans.
yeah, she's going to get Mary Evans.
You two, we're adjourned, it's all, you two from Dimmitt?
Yes.
Dimmitt. So you're probably being denied the right to get your royalties because there's a moratorium,
Well,
even though
no,
you're in.
we're getting royalties on what was done prior to 2009. But there are more wells that they would like to drill. I wrote a letter to the DEP, in fact, I wrote 3 of them. 2 were never answered, so I wrote the 3rd letter to the acting secretary. And I stated that everyone in my drilling unit, our water has never been affected by that methane issue on Carter Road. And we want to be exempted from the 9 square mile drilling ban. The DEP has never tested our water. My answer to that was they don't test water unless there's a complaint for the landowner. So I wrote in my letter, well then you can look in your records and see none of our water wells were affected. And we would like Cabot to continue drilling on our land because there's supposed to be 3 more.
Kathy's
on her
way, Mary's not in.
And at the same time, while they're saying they can't drill on my land, directly across the street, within a stone's throw, Cabot just drilled 3 new wells on my neighbor's wells. And they have no explanation for that, except we don't want any additional drilling, because it'll offset what we're testing. But we're not even anywhere near it.
Well,
The 9
when you have a problem with a state agency, that's why we elect our local representatives to help us work through the maze of these state agencies. You've done a lot of work yourself. You should contact whoever your representative is, either be state senator or state representative, to help you overcome the burden of you having to deal with DEP yourself.
She has. She has.
I
have
copied everyone.
Yeah, how'd that work
Everyone.
for you?
Gene Yaw was the only one that answered, and he said that he was in touch with the PADEP and that they would answer my letter shortly. 2 weeks later, I got a form letter from the DEP.
Yeah, good luck. Right?
Yeah,
So you got nothing done.
so far,
Yes.
yeah.
Now,
We need you.
If Mary would have stayed here, you wouldn't have needed me, because it's only her stuff, isn't it?
All right, okay.
It's
Going over the
9:30.
salary board meeting,
9:30.
what time?
9:30.
Okay. Item number 3.
I'll make a motion to approve the
See ya.
minutes from the
Go ahead,
7:10
Treasurer.
meetings.
I'm also a reporter. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4.
Are you ready? Capital G.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 4 is listed on your agenda.
I have some questions.
I need a second.
Okay, second. No, I'm not gonna second. I take the second back. I have questions before I do anything.
All right.
What do you wanna do,
I'll
Treasurer?
second it, just so you,
All right, now I have
so you
questions.
can talk about it.
Is there currently, I guess I don't understand this, is there currently 3rd deputy positions there?
There is.
Because there is no such thing, right?
Not really in the county code, it calls for her to have first deputies and second deputies, and she'd like to change, and our other offices have first and second deputies, she'd like to change her thirds to second deputies.
That's because we don't have as many people as she does.
Okay. And these are the people that had, she should be here to answer these questions, because I,
Do you want to table it? Does it have to be done today? I thought it was on when we were doing it.
She requested that it be done today.
well, I'm not sure.
She's
that I
such a
get that.
coward. She's at conference.
Let me ask my questions and then maybe we can get it cleared up. Maybe we'll get it done, maybe we won't. Are the same people that are third deputies just moving back to second deputies? And then the second deputy positions are $9.80 per hour. That doesn't seem very high.
It's an increase for them.
Huh?
It's an increase for the third deputies to go to second deputies. That's what it is.
$9.80 an hour?
Yes, that's what it is.
Almost as much as it costs.
What's that, Bruce?
Almost as much as it costs.
So it isn't as though we're creating a new second deputy position. The people that have the third deputy are just gonna be called second deputies, but they're gonna be doing the same job.
Right.
For the same amount of money they're making now?
No, it'll be an increase for them, because third deputies make less than second deputies.
Well, wait a minute. There is no third deputies under the law, so how can a third deputy make anything?
But she's had them. I didn't set up the system,
Yeah, I
but
understand.
she's had them. It is what it
Well,
is.
what are the third deputies that aren't supposed to exist under the law? What are they making an hour?
8 something.
867
It depends, there's 2 of them, and one's been here longer than the other.
Every time we turn over rocks, something new pops up. Hey,
I wanna get a job with the county.
You're gonna have mine.
and I gotta believe that these, I gotta believe that these people that are third deputies, who really don't exist, are gonna be second deputies, have been there for a long time.
They're both fairly new,
They are?
yes.
I'm sure they're excited to know they don't exist.
Sorry, I just can't.
Well, I've asked my questions. I guess I understand what a mess it is, because that's what it is. But it looks to me like we're just creating second deputy positions to give these people an increase in the rate of pay, even though they're not doing any additional work. We're changing their names to give them more money. Yes, no? That,
Well, the third deputy doesn't exist. If you look in the county code, it calls for her to have first deputy and second deputies. Third deputies are not even listed.
well, if this is just a way to get somebody who's been there more money for doing the same work, I'm not in favor of it.
Okay?
Hello, treasurer?
I'd like I said, I'd
There's
like
gotta
to
be
table
something
it
more to
because
this.
I think she should be here.
Do you have a motion to table?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Public comment? Go Bruce.
I'm glad you tabled it.
No other comments? Motion to adjourn.
9:35.
Okay, second.
All in favor? We did, aye, right? Everything's done.
Aye, aye,
All
aye.
in favor?
Aye. And everyone.
Can we find out, maybe next meeting we can find out who else is employed that's not employed?
Well, because this is interesting, because basically what I wanna do, because my girls are all doing similar work, is I want them all to just be.
You know, you gotta be careful how you do it.
Yeah, I
Are
do
you
know
in the
that.
union?
Yes.
And I think
Then
we
you
have
gotta
to have a
be-
first deputy, don't we, according to the county code?
Why can't it just be called I'm allowed to have a deputy, why can't I have 2 deputies?
Because it says, depends on what the county code says, you can have, like here, the 10-year solicitor, there are no third deputies.
No, you're allowed to have it, and,
You're allowed a
but I only
deputy,
have two.
and I don't know if they call it first or
But if-
second or first, and I don't know what the distinction is.
Sylvia, who's
It just
Mary's
says you can have
solicitor?
another one, I can believe. I double check that, but
I believe so.
it's a problem because
Mary
they're,
will have
they're
it.
all doing the same work.
Mary
So
will
why
have
should
it.
one be getting paid less than the other
Well,
one?
there's a
when
lot of
they're
that.
doing the same? Yeah,
Don't disagree with you, but she could explain this as to what's going on, because something doesn't make sense, does it?
yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to her prior to this, so when I saw it, I was a little surprised.
Good. I guess we're done for today.
Nancy, question.